What's up, Moto buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. Who are we? We make and sell the ultimate products to perfect out your Austrian dual sport motorcycle, a KTM EXC, EXCF, XCFW, Husqvarna FE, and FES. And soon we'll be developing some products and components for the Honda CRF 450L, RL, and X bikes. We build out bikes for our clients and friends, from Sunday Trail specials all the way up to fully equipped global slayers like what RTW Paul is riding on as he travels around the world on an EXC 500. In late 21, we'll be rolling out a full service suspension shop as well as a motor program, full rebuilds, blueprinting, balancing, getting rid of the motor buzz and the big bore KTM thumpers, top end, valve grindings, the works. We want to extend, ultimately, what we're after is to extend your ride day and your endurance and your stamina and be able to keep you on the bike for more riding years. We've got a bunch of 70-year-old riders out there who, with our help, hopefully will be riding well into their 90s. Taco Moto Co. Find us out on all the socials. Go out and get some adventure.
In this round of information overload, Jimmy and Matt get going on a long discussion of plenty things. Jimmy says that he is the noisy guy at the intersection that makes himself look bad. He claims that he didn't complain when river bathing on the tour of Idaho. The pair goes back and forth about growing up on dirt bikes, and somewhere in an hour and a half there are things like more 390 questions and the best example of how to grill the marketing department of some companies.
Live from Pahrump, which is Valley of the Dirt People, and I say that affectionately. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number 58. This is the show where we talk about dirt bikes and dirt bike related products. We try to answer your questions that you've put up on the YouTube videos that you've sent us via email at Dirt Bike Test. The questions that come up live on Facebook, we can answer 9 out of 10 questions, Matt, without referring to a reference manual.
Just 9.
9 out of 10. I mean, safely saying I'm just being a... My co-host tonight is Matt Mattoon.
Right.
Al, what do you call Matt?
Jimmy Jr.
Jimmy Jr. Which that's high praise for me because Matt's kind of smart. He goes to college and stuff, and what did you write a paper on today? Gravity, right?
Gravitational waves.
Gravitational waves.
Yeah, spending a lot of time reading about general relativity.
Okay.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, so if you have a question that requires brains, we'll just pass it over to Matt. And if you just want to know how to go faster on your dirt bike and give your dirt bike more power, I'm going to tell you what do you do if you want to make your bike have more power?
Chicken wing the throttle.
Chicken wing the throttle.
Yeah. If you want the elbow pointing down like 90 degrees face down.
No, it's I always told you it's if you get the elbow in front of your wrist. So you think about your wrist and the elbow is actually in front of the wrist. That's maximum power.
No, that's what the pros do. No, like when I saw Marchbanks, that's totally what he was doing in the air.
Really?
Yeah. See, I'm not flexible enough for that. The difference between a pro and average Joe is just that little bit.
That wrist, the elbow in front of the wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes we do joke about things here, which that just was, except for the part about turning the throttle farther. So, hey, so in reality, what the big news is that we have a new partner, a new sponsor on Dirt Bike Test, and with Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, it is now brought to you by KTM, which is pretty cool. That's why I'm wearing an orange shirt, and since I don't just completely bow to all the sponsors. That's why the shirt says something else. It doesn't say it's orange though, so it was like a clue. But hey, I'll tell you what, KTM, it's powered by a distinct ready-to-race mentality. KTM is the world's leading high-performance street and off-road sport motorcycle manufacturer, with North American headquarters based in Murrieta, California. Over the years, KTM has built a reputation as a fierce competitor on racetracks around the world, and the brand's remarkable global success is reflected in every product it develops and in every way it moves. Did you know that, Matt?
I did not know that, no.
You did? Do you know the Ready to Race?
Oh, yeah, I know that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I raced them.
Yeah, you raced them for quite some time. Wasn't there, didn't they like first sign you and then the bike This is like when they first started coming to America, and they started. It had a fluke thing happen twice or something.
They'd been coming to America for a long time. Al will even tell you. You were a Penton owner. Yeah, Al one of our local guys out here, one of our local riders, still a KTM rider. Actually, he might switch to Husky though. No, not really. But what if you rode one of those, and it was orange? Would it be better? Probably, yeah. So anyhow, I have to make a little small disclaimer on behalf of KTM, is that the views expressed on this show are the views of Dirt Bike Test and Jimmy Lewis and whoever else is sitting next to me and talking into the microphones, not necessarily of KTM, although we do try to give really honest, sage advice. And I'm going to kind of tell you another story that this is so we talked about, I've raced KTMs back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I stopped racing for them because they actually at the time went bankrupt. And it was a big transition time, and then they came back, and now, I mean, to make a short story long, I mean, look at where they're at now. But they had really good bikes back then. Maybe not the best suspension, but it wasn't, I mean, you could get it to work. It was but they had good motors. I raced a 125, and Danny Hamill was racing the 250 at the time, and Dan Smith was riding the 500, and our bikes were the best bikes in the desert. Kevin Hines was racing Enduros, the National Enduro Championship, and he had a really good bike that he was on. So they've always made good stuff. It wasn't as polished as some of the Japanese stuff at the time. But they've definitely now.
I think they've stepped up significantly
for sure. And so what I was going to kind of get into is I've been poking around trying to get advertising, and I'm not a good guy at going and getting advertising for dirt bike tests and stuff. That's not my thing. I ride dirt bikes and test them, and I've been joking with them. Yeah, you should support us, and basically Tom Moen, who's been there, he was the guy who's prepped the magazine bikes for like back when I was racing, and he's been down there. He was back down there when there was 3 or 4 people in that office down in, at the time, El Cajon. He's still there running the marketing department, and now in Murrieta. And he would jokingly say, he's like, we don't want to help you out or sponsor you because we don't want you to change. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, me, I won't change. And they're like, oh, well, it'd look kind of funny if we were helping you out. And I'm like, I'm not going to change. I promise you. I won't. I won't change. I mean, like even before they were helping me, dirt bike test in general, people would call up and say, hey, what's the best bike? And I just go KTM 500. That's just by.
But you're not the only one who's been saying that for
a
few years, though.
No, and the only person that doesn't say it is Johnny Campbell, and he says Sierra 450 whatever XL.
Right.
Actually, we're almost. This was almost done last week. We just didn't have some of the ab materials and things that we needed. So it was good because Johnny was my co-host, so I would just have to beat him up the whole show that the KTM is better than the Honda. But yeah. So, but anyways, that's kind of the. So they're like, oh, we don't want to change, and so we figured out a way that they could kind of help us keep going. We're going to probably do kind of this KTM sort of tech tip, and it's going to be something that anybody can use, hopefully, so you don't have to be a KTM rider to appreciate it. But I'm really appreciative. Especially in this times now when everything's kind of tough with the economy and the COVID stuff and what are those? I wrote it down. Murder hornets.
Oh,
yeah. With murder hornets now affecting our daily lives. I'm so appreciative that they stepped up and they're gonna help keep us going, and we're gonna kind of kick this ball into gear. And awesome. Gabe is ready to pounce because he thinks I actually might have some money in our checkbook right now. That's why he's standing that close, because he doesn't want.
He's trying to intimidate you.
I told him it takes a little while for it to actually start flowing, but it may.
It's okay, Gabe. We'll strike.
Hey, so
actually, I do have one quick little question.
Okay.
So it's about the dirt bike test logo. So, how did that come about? Because it kind of looks like the HRC logo.
No, the one in your hat looks like the HRP logo. Yeah, you have to take your thing off. That's a different one. Yeah, So I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way that we actually like looked at somebody else's logo and like ripped it off at all. There's
Okay.
no way that we've ever done anything like that.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I'm talking about.
That one, yeah. It's our own. We made it up. So now coming from someone your age, did you know? Had you seen the logo, the other logo before? You saw ours first, right?
So I did see yours first, but it was like a week apart.
Right. So you know that HRC copied us.
Did they? Because
Yeah.
I thought I saw a picture of like an older bike where it looked like it.
Yeah. No, you remember you saw ours first, so then you saw the second one. That's HRC, and then they copied us. So
Okay.
we got a lot of good questions.
Same the standards.
We have a lot of good people, our regulars up on the show. I'm sure our chat room and stuff is pretty active. I'm going to get to as many of those questions as I can. I think George is going to herd everybody into making the questions easier to find on the chat room. But there's lots of cool stuff going on. Hey, another shout out I like to do is remember Torture Test Gabe? Did you ever see the show he was on?
I didn't know, but I've heard about him.
Okay, so he's from your age. He's a Gen Z guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you guys brand and how you do different things, but he was Torture Test Magazine, but now he's like Go Get Me a Coffee. That's his new thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's bringing back the DRZ 200 evidently. And I know we have a lot of listeners that kind of share some listeners and they're friends of him. I actually had to copy this off. He says, "Welcome to the opportunities to support the greatest DRZ 200 content on the internet." And I kid you, there's no lie in that because there is no DRZ 200 content on the internet besides what he's doing. And like, talk about taking the path of least resistance.
Right.
He says it's coming soon. It says, in here on his page, you'll see a bunch of parts listed. These are not parts for sale. They're parts that you can buy to be used on the DRZ 200 or DR200 project. I said DRZ. It's DR200 project. So basically you can go on his webpage and you can like buy one clutch plate and hit checkout and then they send him the clutch plate. So he's trying to crowdsource through his viewers getting that bike rebuilt because according to him it's the most awesome bike ever. And by the way, you can buy a t-shirt from him that says my DR200 is awesome or something. Or you can get the I Heart KTM Tears, which we don't support anymore, not one bit.
Is that the one I'm sitting in front of?
Yeah, that's why you're never going to move. You can't get up out of that seat because that's a bad.
I almost pulled it out when you were reading the sponsorship, but then I decided, that's not a good business strategy.
That's right. That's smart. So, and you can even buy a sticker for the side of his bike, which is great marketing. So I think he tries to avoid me. I don't know why, but I need to get him back in here because I'm trying to learn how you younger folk do things. It's definitely different than the way us old farts tend to do it. But I was thinking about buying him a bag of ball bearings to put in the muffler. I think it would just fit his style. I mean, that then not only would it like be a ride like a bag of ball bearings, it sound like it too. So when he goes by you on that DR200, and I like that because I used to do that same stuff when I was like riding mini bikes around the motocross track. I'd be riding like an 85 and pass guys on 450, and I'm a big guy on the mini bike, and it's like, oh yeah, you need that 450, bro. Twist the throttle a little bit farther.
Right.
So I see what he's doing. I get it. But hey, so he's man, I don't know how you're going to find him anymore. Go get a coffee.torturetest /DR200. Find him, just search him out on the internet, and maybe he'll pop back up here. I noticed my my thing froze on the live feed.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But
are we back?
It's the live little thing's still going.
Okay, good. Yeah, my if we drop, somebody better let me know because that's going to be a big problem.
Maybe Gabe shut it off because you haven't paid him yet.
Oh, Gabe, I'll teach Logan everything you know in about 10 minutes. Okay. Hey, another one I wanted to get in while I'm fresh before you pour me a tequila. Let's start out with the Extra Anejo Jose Cuervo Reserva de la Familia, because we're not messing around. This was a gift, of course, because I can't afford to buy this stuff. Matt's doing the opening of the box. And like I said, just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to try to concentrate before you...
So do you want a college student definition of a little bit or an actual little bit?
No, it's a sipping tequila, Matt. This stuff is really good.
Well, you can have a lot to sip on. It actually smells good.
It is,
Can I
yeah.
have a little taste?
Yeah, no, you're allowed to.
Oh, I'm allowed to? Okay.
Yeah, you're old enough now. I forgot that. Last time you came in, I thought you were 19.
No, I'm 23 now.
I know. Time flies.
Yeah.
Wait till you get old, right, right, Al? Yeah. Oh, baby. So, hey,
He can do more push-ups than you, right?
on our... I don't know. Maybe we could do that live sometime, the push-ups. So on the Husky 501 video test, a guy named Chase Ackerman, and I'm going to read as much as I can get through of this without... I'm just going to try to read it straight through because I usually throw in commentary, but I'll do my best. He says, guys are getting 70-plus horsepower with a tuned Vortex and FMF. I think they may be switching the throttle body out too. We've got a 2020 KTM 500 making 70 horsepower and running 1452. The throttle response is wicked. It's loud. I really want to stop and say something there. And they absolutely smoke the 450s off the line in hair scrambles and enduros races we do. The 2020 Huskies are also shaved a ton of weight off this year and now on par with the KTMs. That fact is that they come with the Explorer 48s is a huge plus too. Lots of improvements for 2020. Many pro riders swap out AERs for Explorers for hardcore enduro riding, and it's worth it. I've got Cooper Abbott's 450 XCF, Destry's son. So, I know who that is. But, yeah, Destry Abbott's son. Too. And he has his swapped. Do the ECU, get a slip-on pipe, do your reeds, get the suspension valve, and remove the clunky mirrors and junk, and they'll crush every other bike known to man when it comes to mid to high-speed off-roading. Seriously. If you're a bigger dude who can throw the bike around, you'll easily give the two-strokes a run for their money in the low-speed technical sections. The best part... Oh, am I missing a line? We know a lot of trail riders getting 300-plus hours on a top end with perfect maintenance. Now, if you're going racing or a pro rider, then you can get 50 to 150 hours depending on how you ride and the type of racing you're doing. But long story short, the engines are very stout. Okay.
He had a lot to say.
Chase, I think you need your own podcast, bro. You got a lot.
He's got a lot of opinions. He's got a lot to say. I'm
going to break it all down.
Good though.
I'm going to break it all down because he did take some time to write that on our 501.
And there's a lot of information on that actually.
Okay, so I don't know why the hell you need 70-plus horsepower to do an enduro or hair scrambles. I really don't.
To do wheelies.
Where? In the parking lot?
Yeah.
When you're riding from your truck to the start line?
Yeah, you got to show off to everyone somehow.
Yeah, because with 70-plus horsepower, you're going to be so dead by the time you get done with the first lap. You're not going to be doing any wheelies at the end of the race to begin with. So I'm pretty sure you can get 70-plus horsepower, but I still don't know what tire you would use to actually make that horsepower stick to the ground, even in really good traction. So 70 is a big number. I would like his dyno because his dyno is way kicks ass over my butt dyno because my butt dyno, I think I called that thing like 35 or something.
I'm not quite sure.
That was the stock one, but we didn't pull the reeds out and do the ECU and make it wicked and loud and absolutely smoke 450s. We actually thought it was a really good trail riding bike. Onto the suspension. So the Explorer 48s is a huge plus, but swapping out the Explorers for AERs, I actually like the AER fork because it's lighter, and man, the XCFs come with those, of course. That's the stock fork on those. The air fork is on the motocross bike and the XCF. So the more trail riding bikes get the open cartridge spring fork. Let's see. So did he? I can't tell whether he was telling me that he bought Destry or Cooper Abbott's 450 XCF, and he had his swapped out to. If somebody swapped the Explorers onto the XCF, I think you got a. I don't know if that was a bonus or
if you went backwards.
I don't know. You should read the internet about that one because like usually people talk about how those forks aren't good. I think they're great. Actually,
the Explorers,
the Explorer fork.
Okay, yeah. I remember you talking about last podcast I was on.
Yeah. It might actually be. I mean, it's like they probably told you it was better, and for trail riding and stuff, it actually might be better. But for moto, it's not the fork that it comes with.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's see. Crush every other bike, mid to high speed off roading. I think I was riding with a bunch of guys that had all those mods done, and I was on that particular bike, that stock Husky 501 with the muffler all choked up and a little screen in the back, and we were riding in some sand washes when they were wet and perump. And I'm pretty sure about every 4 or 5 miles I stopped and I had to wait for those guys. I mean, I'm absolutely positively sure I had to stop and wait for those guys because all that 35 horsepower was kind of, making me ride faster because I was able to control the bike and I wasn't spinning and doing all the other stuff. But they had all those mods done. And I bet that I could get like 500 hours on that motor without working on it because I have 3 KTM 500s that are rolling proof of that. Maybe the older motor, but anyways, and if you're racing in a pro, if you don't bounce off the rev limiter in your pro, you're fine. You're going to get just as many hours as the novice who doesn't bounce off the rev limiter. And if you have sand go through your air filter or you don't change your oil often enough, which isn't that often, but often enough, those things can make the novice rider have to change his piston after 50 hours and adjust his valve after 50 hours. So it really doesn't matter if you're a pro or a novice. I think pros, like guys that really hammer things, hammer them whether they're a novice or they're a pro. I know pros that get lots and lots of time on their bikes, and I know novices that can blow things up in 35 hours. Just depends on how you use stuff. So Chase, thanks for pointing all that stuff out. You can do all that stuff and you can get a lot of horsepower, but I always ask somebody when they're so interested in getting all this power, it's like, well, so you were wide open, right? And they're like, well, no, I wanted more, bottom end power. And like, okay, so you want a different power delivery. It's not the number, like that 70 horsepower number is just, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean anything. It's like, you're talking about developing a power band and developing a delivery. And I kid you not, in all of these, like just bolt on, plug in things that if you do more than one thing and it isn't tuned with the other thing, you are going to lose rideability. And I keep preaching that. And I have the Get ECU on one of my bikes right now that's supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread, and I hate it. I'm still fiddling with it to get the drivability and the rideability that I want. Oh, for sure, it makes more power, and it actually feels like it makes a lot more power because it's so jacked up on the low end and the throttle response low end going to mid range. When that mid range comes on, and I guarantee you, it makes probably 4 or 5 more horsepower, maybe up to 7 in this certain section of mid range. But going from crap low end into pretty spectacular mid range makes the bike feel like it has a lot more power. Then it goes up in a top end and it kind of falls off again. And so the sensation is, hey, my bike makes more power, but it's less rideable. The throttle response is kind of crappy. And so it's not just that. And when I see these guys just jumping on all these things, you got to do this, you got to do that. And unless you have a really experienced guy that knows exactly what he's doing with the tuning, unless it's sold as a kit that's absolutely tuned to run that way, and then I don't think you're going to get more power, but is that what you're really asking for?
Right. Does JD Jetting, do they still make those little tuner things? Okay. Yeah.
Yep, and those are really good because they're simple and easy to do, and all they do is affect the fueling. And if you change your exhaust, especially on an emissions compliant bike, you need to do something to the fueling. You cannot just change your exhaust because it will not run properly. And I had my thing flash to a Euro map. It's like, so what is that? That's just like pulling an ECU off of another bike and plugging it in, not the same model, but plug it in and go, this is better. They're like, oh, so that's the way it was designed. Oh, it's got, it's secret. It's got the special this and that. So it's not to say that get ECU isn't a very, very powerful tool that I can now do fueling and ignition, but it's also very, very complicated. And for me to put it on a bike that has a very specific setup that works really good with a stock ECU and a JD tuner, and it was like perfect to get that same level of perfection out of the Get ECU with the same exhaust system and no JD tuner, just the Get working on. It's a lot more complex, and I really want to get it to work because I want to test the potential of that particular product.
Right.
So I'm working on it. But anyways, thanks, Chase. Appreciate it. I did tell him that he could call in or if he wanted to discuss it.
Well, do you have the phone lines open?
No, we don't have the phone lines open yet.
Well, how can he call in then?
I don't know. I'm really not ready. Actually, I'm ready to have a sip of tequila, Matt. Why don't you read the next?
I was going to sip too, though.
No, it's your turn to read the question that starts with Jimmy.
All right. Jimmy, I picked up my dirt bike today from the dealership. They installed a new cylinder and a new piston based on the damage they saw to the top of the piston scoring on the old cylinder. I talked to the service rep, and he said he personally rode the bike for 6 miles after the repair, and it ran well. I rode it myself for a few blocks before loading it up, and it definitely ran strong and idled perfect. Mike Bolini.
Yeah.
This is that Husky
So this is the
300?
Husky 300 that had the problem, and so there was actually a little more. He kind of detailed some other stuff that was really cool. So he was the one that was having the problems. It was running kind of awkward and didn't work. Well, when he sent me the picture, it definitely showed some detonation. And so what they think afterwards is that he got, some bad gas and ran it for a while on bad gas. And I'm pretty sure that detonation, because he didn't show the picture only showed the piston at top dead center. It didn't show it down. So I imagine there was some cylinder scoring and stuff like that. So I suspect that's what happened is all of a sudden there was a loss of power, probably loss of compression, loss of power, and that's what he ended up feeling. And since it was kind of the bike had been sitting and different things, so I'm just stoked that Mike got his bike all sorted out. And this kind of leads me on to another thing. If it was bad gas, it was probably detonating. And so people ask, like, what is detonation? And this is probably a better question for someone like Chris Reel, who can explain it. But it's basically pre-ignition of gas and flame fronts that are flying all over and doing bad things. They cause heat and they cause damage inside the cylinder. A lot of times those flame fronts will take chips off of the piston, and it's just they'll overheat certain parts of the combustion chamber. Bad things happen, but a lot of times, especially on two strokes, and the smaller displacement, the harder it is to hear it and feel it. It's a ping. It's you hear it knocks, and when your car does it, but it's doing it at such a low RPM. It's actually definitely a distinctive noise, and they have lots of computers on modern day cars so that cars don't knock. On our motorcycles and stuff, we have none of that, and a lot of times, you can feel it, and a lot of times on the 125 two strokes, I remember we would get detonation, and you couldn't hear it, but you could. It was like the bike was losing a quarter of the power for just small moments. But it definitely sounds like a knock. I mean, there's no doubt about it when you're riding it. And I can hear it on the every once in a while on the KTM 300s and the Husky 300s, high load, medium RPM. You can get a knock when you have bad gas in it. And now with the quality of gas and stuff like that, it's not that hard to get bad gas. So kind of that's something to pay attention to. Kind of if you have any questions about that, I mean, I'd like to get someone who's maybe a little more knowledgeable on that kind of stuff to come in and talk about it. I know, sometimes adding like an octane booster, running a good fuel, but if you run, especially on these new bikes, if you run too good of a fuel, guess what you need to do? Fuel tuning. Like you,
Oh, yeah.
if
Okay.
you change the kind of fuel you're running in your Husaberg 2-stroke,
Yeah.
you would have to rejet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same is true of when you're changing your fuel up. Like people are always asking us, can I run 100 octane low lead, 110 octane low lead? Well, you can, but you better tune your bike for it. It's probably not the best for it. Most bikes are designed to run stock on pump gas, and they do pretty good at that. That's good pump gas. That's probably the 92, the 91 octane stuff. If you can get the non-ethanol fuel, that's probably even better. Especially if you're going to store your bike for any period of time. But when you get the 87 that's been sitting in that tank at the little gas station out in the middle of nowhere, that was the only place you could get gas, and it's been in that tank for 6 months, and it's last year's winter blend, you're going to have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, definitely.
How is that?
That is
it's pretty good
tequila. Yeah, that was really smooth.
It's really smooth.
No, it's and the flavor's pretty good too.
So happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody! By the way, I was gonna read something that I saw in a little meme that I got today. It basically says, imagine, if you will, a world where Cinco de Mayo falls on Taco Tuesday, only to be ruined by a virus named after a Mexican beer. So take that, and with that, I will have the next one, the Clase Azul. But I got to finish this one first.
I thought you were supposed to. Thought you were supposed to sip it, and then you're about to
skip the bold question and then go to the TOI video question.
Okay. So this question is from Joe Klink. Enjoyed watching, but seems like he complained about everything the whole trip.
On the Tour of Idaho video, he says that he enjoyed watching my video, but he's complaining that I complained about everything on the whole trip. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's 100%.
Well, so what's new? I mean, hey, you know what's good about this tequila, by the way?
What's that? It makes you tell more stories?
No, you got it. Wait, I got to do it by the microphone. It's
like a
bell on top.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Larry. That's where I got that one. Did I complain the whole trip? I thought I was having a good time. Anybody ever watch that? The Tour of Idaho video? Yeah. It's getting to be Tour of Idaho season. I see Martin's doing a whole bunch of stuff over on his Mojazz website with all of his stuff. He's lining up all of his teams. He's got his little secret chat rooms and stuff. So if you're doing Tour of Idaho, I hope you've got it all on good when you get wet. Lock point. Yeah, I didn't complain about getting wet. When I didn't fall in the river. I took a bath. I was dirty, and I was complaining. So
just be thankful you didn't do that in Alaska.
What does Todd Jacobs say?
He says, "Cool video." ... All
right. Well, yeah. Thanks, Todd, but I mean, why are you taking the time to write a nice email to me? I mean, if I complain all the time, Todd, no thanks. Thanks. Yeah, no, it's a cool video. I'll try not to complain so much.
When is Tour Idaho again?
It's anytime you want to do it, but you kind of have to be able to go. It self-regulates its own season because there's passes up in the mountains that have snow on them.
Okay, and
then there's sections you go across the desert where it can get too hot.
Oh, okay.
And it basically runs from Utah to Canada. It's mostly, it's all off road. Large majority of it is single track, and they do a really good job of putting stuff together. It's one of those rides. It's a bucket list thing for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And I just kind of did it on a whim, and it was awesome. I did a video about it, and thank God that my buddy Will showed up and helped me shoot the video, because that would be. I mean, I do that kind of stuff all the time. It's just I never go to the extra effort to document it and and tell. I actually, RJ, who helped me out with those KTM 390 videos, by the way, which are pretty sweet. He's like, dude, you need to have a camera, and he actually pitched me on having a camera on this other stuff that I do, and I'm like, that'd be so cool to do, because like the story in 20 years will be really, really cool, but it's like you just. There's a lot of work to do it right. But he's like, he's a camera guy, and he's like, and he's right. I could shoot all that. I could shoot it. And we store it, and then we have that archival footage, and I'm like, oh, it would be so cool if, yeah. But anyways, so Matt, do you know what I rode on the Tour of Idaho?
KTM 500?
Because it's the best bike
best
in the
bike
world.
out there.
Yeah, best bike out there for anything. Yeah. Thanks, KTM.
I'm not saying it because we're sponsored.
No.
I like how the KTM banner came up right when.
I did. Gabe, did you push some buttons and make that happen? No. Yeah, the good
There
time.
we go.
What does Wild Sandwich say?
He says, I'm going to have to disagree with the commenter stating you're a great dad. I think it's a terrible thing to do. I can't believe you even consider something like that. I love motorcycles, and now that my kids are growing up, I ride them regularly. As they were growing up, I did not ride one. I would never purchase a motorcycle for my son.
So Wild Sandwich is commenting on somebody who commented that they thought that the KTM 390 would be a good adventure bike for their son. And I don't really remember if he talked about the ages or the ability levels or anything like that. It's all kind of aside. But I think it's a personal choice. I decided I didn't want to be a dad, so I could go riding by myself and not have to worry about putting diapers on kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So
you just waited till they turned 14, then you go and took them on a.
But I thank my parents every day for the day my dad brought that clapped out CT70 home, taught me how to work on it, made me work on it so it would run, agreed to be able to, I could earn half of my next motorcycle, which is actually, we got another CT70 because we broke that one in half. I got an XR80, which I, had to make $300 of the 650 to be able to get it. But man, thank God my parents did that, because otherwise I'd be a murder hornet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
something like that, or who knows? I mean,
Just kind of buzzing around.
It takes a lot of distraction to kind of keep me focused. So, I mean, it's a personal choice. You're lucky your parents got you into dirt bikes.
Oh yeah.
You would have never met me, and then you wouldn't like math.
No,
and you wouldn't
not.
be doing gravitational computations.
No, I wouldn't. No. I don't even want to know what would have happened if I didn't ride dirt bikes.
Yeah,
I might have ended up just staying in Pahrump.
Yeah. He's trying to get out of here right now. He's here on quarantine. He's trying to leave.
2 weeks left.
2 weeks left.
No.
And so, this guy says as he was growing up, he didn't own one. And I mean, that's a respectable thing. If you decide, hey, your family's more important than this, but it's a personal choice. And here's about kids and dirt bikes. And this is really important, especially, now that, kids are just so into devices and things. It's like, if you don't own something that can hurt you, you're going to be an idiot when you grow up, because you've never been hurt, and you don't respect certain things. And riding a dirt bike, because you can do it when you're younger before you get your driver's license, makes you a better driver. It makes you more reactive, attentive to how mechanical things work, how they perform, how they move, and aware of your surroundings. Because you got to experience this stuff on a mechanical object that went faster than you can walk, and it's way faster than a bicycle, and so it's going to make you a better driver. You're going to learn to have to work on it. Hopefully, hopefully your parents make you work on that bike. So you're gonna learn some mechanical aptitude, and hopefully they take it away from you if you really like it when you screw up in school and do other stuff. So I can give you lots of positive reasons for having motorcycles for kids, and it helped me a ton. And you talk to most guys that ride dirt bikes didn't get them into drugs and crime and bad things. I mean, sure, the dirt bikes attract a different type of person. It's not the guy that's going to get enamored in playing chess or is ready to go out to the golf course. And, that's just what they aspire to do. You aspire to do crazy stuff. And the dirt bike is a great way of doing crazy things legally, and you will teach yourself safety. Or hopefully your parents kind of, help teach you safety in conjunction with what happens when you fall over and got hurt in your dirt bike. Because usually the first times aren't too bad. And then you go, ouch, that hurts. It's like, don't do that again. And then you respect it, and then you know what pain is, and try to avoid it. Yeah, bad things can happen, but bad things can happen when you play basketball in your driveway and the basketball rolls out in the street and you run out in front of a car. Okay, basketball's bad. Nobody play basketball anymore.
Right.
Okay, is that a good rant?
That was a good rant. Yeah.
Wild sandwich.
I have something to add to that. I was like, well, people won't let their kids ride dirt bikes, but they'll let them play football. And with all the concussions, everything we're learning about football, like I would argue that our football is a little bit more dangerous.
Anything can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just, you can increase the odds or decrease the odds by doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Hence this guy's idea that he wouldn't want his kids to have dirt bikes or buy his kid a dirt bike. But he'll he could produce a kid that doesn't know how to drive and get smacked in the street while he's driving in a very easily avoidable accident based on reaction times. Who knows?
Right.
I don't know. I don't judge either. So
definitely everyone has their own little lifestyle, own little philosophy.
Right. So what are we on to next?
Akesh Paul on the 390 short review. How is the low end performance? It's a little sluggish in the Indian variant.
Well, I have not ridden the Indian KTM 390, but if you would watch the long review, that's why we made it. It goes into great detail. And so now I'm mad at YouTube and Google for not providing that on your feed. It should have been the next one in line because that was the teaser video, and the long review gives you all of the info. So
I actually only watched the long review. I didn't watch the short one.
If you can say this next name right, you're going to India.
Actually, I think I got it. Adarsh Kumar, VP.
Yeah, I guess so. Lucky, you know how bad it is when I try to say the names.
You want to give it a go, or
no, I'm good.
All right. So he's asking. So all these traction control and quick shifter necessary for an adventure bike. I think it's an overkill.
Well, Adashar Hush Kumar, VP. That's a two-way street, and with all the stuff they put on that bike, I think I would argue that quick shift is a little gimmicky. It's not a standard feature; it's an add-on. But it's but it's pretty cool if you just want to bang. If you want to get on the street and bang shifts.
Yeah.
You know that goon that goes across they always have a loud pipe too. They come to the stoplight or the stop signal and they take off and they launch in first gear, get halfway through the intersection, and they miss shift.
Yeah.
That guy full over rev and then
right.
You've done that before?
Oh, I haven't done that before, but I've heard it.
Oh, I do it all the time. But the quick shift eliminates that. So quick, but it's quick's just a little gimmicky. ABS is really, really good for emergency situations for novice riders. Trust me. I watch people lock their front wheel up all the time on accident, and the ABS does save them. But I do think that you should actually learn, how to ride without ABS. Personal opinion. I do teach a riding school. At Jimmy Lewis, www.jimmylewisoffroad.com. Go check it if you want to be a better rider. So the traction control, same thing. I mean, you watch, new novice riders, they're not that good with the throttle. And so this is kind of taking some of that, what could turn into a bad thing, and stopping it from happening. So it's preventing crashes. So it's like I said, it's a two-way street. I think it is good. There's good technology, and it's on that bike. It's used properly, and I wish I could turn some of it off more, or some of it was more adjustable. But that's what they make more expensive and better equipped bikes for, that allow you to do that stuff. It really bothers me when I can't turn some of that stuff completely off. So,
and I think also it depends on it depends on who's looking at this bike, right? Didn't you say it's supposed to be for a very broad audience?
It's in a world audience. It's a performance bike. But here we have, in a lot of places in the world, we have, you have 1290s, and at that point, no, it's the entry level. It's the one to work. It's the stepping stone to get you up to the 1290 or whatever you aspire to ride next. Which leads us into our next question.
Okay, so I think Sarge Kill 1134. He's saying I would love a comparison video, like a 390 Adventure versus an XCF 350.
Like I said earlier, I'm too lazy to make a video, another video. We don't have that much time, and nor the finances to knock that video out like tomorrow, like you want. But I'm going to give you the live comparison, which is actually really simple. The KTM 390 Adventure is a better entry-level small displacement adventure bike than the XCF 350 will ever be. It's just, that's what it was designed to do. Now, the KTM 350 XCF is a way better enduro dual sport bike than the KTM 390 ever could be. It's kind of like comparing apples and oranges, but they're kind of at the same displacement. And we did go out and ride both those bikes back to back, believe it or not, because I have a 350 XCF here. And when we were going to do the photos one day, Heather and I, when we went riding, we had both those bikes and we swapped around. And anytime we were on anything technical, single track, anything that would be more enduro, I would much rather be on the 350 XCF. Anytime we were cruising down the highway on a gravel road, no question, I would rather be on the 390. So you have to kind of decide, pick your poison. And then, how fast you're going to ride, where's your ability level. The more you're more advanced, the more you're going to appreciate the 350 XCF, and you're going to wish that you were on maybe a 1090 or a 790 as opposed to that 390. Mm-hmm. So, that's you'd like that video, because you know what I do in that video, Matt?
You ride it.
I would jump the 350 over the 390 and do like a one-hander.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would do like a one-hander thing. I'd throw my hand up in the air.
There you go.
Like I was winning.
Just kind of relishing in the feeling.
Yeah. Okay, and speaking of the KTM 350.
Okay, so this is from Silverback K9. Where did you take the bike around for 5 minutes? Looks like an interesting terrain, maybe not too far from LA.
So he's watching the KTM 350 video test, which is actually, I think it's our 2019. I'll never tell you. I will never, ever tell you where videos were shot or where it was, because in my world, I ride really, really awesome places and get to go cool, riding the best stuff. And it's taken me 30 years to find these places and to learn where the good trails are and where the unused stuff is. And if I tell everybody where everything's at, it's like I'm doing a disservice to the people who's, that's their good area and the guys that have spent the time working on the trail. Because when some ding dong goes and, oh, look, I found this awesome trail, and puts track logs up on the internet and tells everybody where it's at, and then it gets torn to hell and then it's junk. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not right. So I'd never really reveal locations. I kind of encourage people to do the same, because you would not want everybody riding in your backyard. And I don't want everybody riding in my backyard. And if you have a private place, I would hope that people respect it. And if you're out working on trails and building trails, once you put some sweat equity into a trail, some work into a trail and working on it, and you see it get torn to crap because a bunch of guys didn't respect that, they're cutting corners or riding off trail or jacking stuff up. It'll change your opinion on that. So that's my thing. You'll never know where. I will never post where we're riding, and it looks like interesting terrain not too far from LA, because it's in Jawbone Canyon. Yeah, Jawbone Canyon is where I did all that video.
I'm assuming that's not the actual name of the place.
Oh, I said it, didn't I? It's closed right now, by the way. California State Parks closed it, but that's what they do over there.
Okay.
Next.
All right. So Paul in Reno, he's asking two questions, both very long. So post-review dialogue about the 390 Adventure. To you, it's just a review. To us, it's accurate information that helps narrow down whether a motorcycle is the right choice or not and why. It's not brutally honest, it's just honest. Please keep the format, multiple riders, multiple skill level, multiple gender, etc., pushing the bike to on all available terrain that each tester feels comfortable with. There are many reasons you had so many non-USA comments, and I believe it is because of the well-rounded testers and comments from them, and possibly the lowest level of bullshit that came from the final review. I'm not in the market for a new bike, but if I was, this review would have been the info I needed before going to the dealer. And speaking of bullshit.
Okay, because that's when I chime in. When you say bullshit, that's me.
Yeah.
So thanks, Paul. That's good. And it's funny, as I've been told to never say that I'm being honest or brutally honest with you. And I've kind of taken that to heart, because everything I say is kind of that.
Yes.
But I've decided that what we're going to do is we're going to start selling T-shirts, and I'm going to start giving away motorcycles so I can get more Instagram views and
Sign me up.
selling raffle tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up.
Did you do that already?
Oh no, but if you're offering a raffle for a new bike, I desperately want a new bike.
Is that what I need to do to get more popular? Isn't good information that you get for free enough?
It is.
Okay.
But
thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the bullshit.
All right. So question number 2. You and BC Mark started to bag on the marketing departments
That's Berm Cannon.
Berm Cannon Mark of Moto. I don't know what that is. Of which I loved hearing. I think your listeners may want to hear your take on the level of hype that comes from the marketing departments and how it may affect reviews on motorcycles. Both you and Mark have been in the biz for a long time. Have either of you been slapped a metaphor for something you said that went against the grind of the motorcycle manufacturer? If motor journalists are too truthful about a model, what happens? If they don't stick to the script, what happens? Does truth telling become a career killer or not?
This is an excellent question, and I have no problem answering it, to be honest with you, especially on the first show that KTM decided to sponsor. So we started to bag on the marketing departments, and I don't know if we got into it on this particular thing, but so a lot of times, the marketing department has a direction that they want to go. They've got some research or they got some information that they think is really going to spark the market. It's going to bring their product to life more so than the product itself. And like I'll even bag on KTM right here. So in their marketing information on that 390 Adventure, they say that the 390 Adventure frame is inspired by the KTM 450 Rally. Factory rally bike. And I'm like, I don't know if we did that in that thing. Is it inspired that it's actually a frame and it's made of metal? And that's where the similarity. It's a trellis design.
Yeah.
So the design is kind of the same, but I don't think I would be really hard pressed that the guys from the rally department and the guys that designed that frame ever actually had any sort of communication about the design of the frame. Mm-hmm. And so now we're bagging on it. But that's what the marketing department said. Mm-hmm. And that's the information that was fed to journalists. And I guarantee you, that some of those journalists are going to march down that path. And the marketing department has to create some hype, and that's their job. That's what they do. Ideally, in my world, the product speaks for itself. So when we go to these press junkets and we go to, they feed you a nice dinner and they take you to a really nice location to ride a mediocre bike, it's still a mediocre bike. Mm-hmm. And it's hard with like the KTM 390 because that's one we just had. It's hard to take, high level riders, guys have been riding for a long time, and take them and go, hey, here's our latest new product that we need to sell a lot of, and we have to make it really. And you're like, this is a beginner bike. Oh, this is so below me. I see that all the time from these guys. Like, oh, look at me. I'm going to go jump this thing and show you how badass I am. And there's a lot of different stuff there, but there's manufacturers that will put pressure on certain journalists when they feel it's applicable. There's journalists that bow down to the manufacturers because they're afraid they're not going to get the next test bike. And I've seen test bikes pulled. I've seen advertising pulled. I've seen modified test bikes go out to certain individuals because they know that journalist is so lazy that they can't figure out how to kind of tune it properly to make it run like the client would or that the customer would expect. Mm-hmm. I've seen it all. I've been doing this for a long time. But that's not the way that we do things here. And have I been slapped? Yeah, I've been slapped before, but it didn't affect me. It did not change what I said or my opinion. And it's very rare that I've ever retracted one of my opinions or changed the results of any tests unless I went back and found out that I was wrong or my testers were wrong or incorrect. Your opinion is your opinion. Period. Okay. And when you make a factual mistake or you maybe tested the bike, the product in the wrong application, that's on you. You did that wrong. But if we test it in the proper application for what it was designed for, that's how we do things, then it's an honest and fair review. So I haven't really had to back down. A lot of times I asked the manufacturer, hey, what's your direction? What's your target? Your product, company that's building product. What are you trying? What is this? What problem is this solving? And if it's like, well, it looks better on the bike. It's made of a different material and it's blingy. I'm like, okay, that's good. They're not telling me it's going to, make it work 120% better.
Right. It's not going to be like a factory race machine.
So, so kind of if, so I've been slapped. Yeah, I've been slapped but in the end, it's funny because I'll get slapped by the marketing department. The marketing department will come back to me and go, you should have done this, should have done that like this. And I kid you not, half the time it was either the day before or the day after I was on the phone with their R&D guys and they're saying, why did you feel that? Or how did that work? Or how did that happen? Or what was this? Or the day after, the R&D's call because the marketing department said, did you read this shit? And then, then they call up and they go, hey, what, this, that, and the other. And we have a very constructive, interesting discussion. And generally, we all end up agreeing in the end.
Right.
Maybe my tone could have been a little bit different sometimes. And maybe my understanding of what the product was could have been a little bit different, but I've been doing it long enough and I kind of understand where the products are coming from now. That's why you need to take what do you have to do the KTM 390 to get 70 horsepower out of it?
I think you have to.
Yeah, don't dig in there.
Yeah. I didn't bring my highlighter, so I can't annotate
We
this.
try to give honest reviews here. Brutally honest. I said it there. It's brutally honest.
Well, and what's interesting though is you would expect, you kind of expect the marketing to respond like that and the R&D to respond like that because they both have those two departments have totally different jobs, right? The marketing department's supposed to make the product look good. It's supposed to make it look fantastic. Yeah,
sometimes I mean, every once in a while, the marketing department has to polish a turd.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, and that's got to be a tough job.
Yeah,
but a lot of times, especially we see it a lot of times with motocross bikes. So motocross bikes will have we'll call it a minor update year, minor model. They'll get bold new graphics or something like that.
Yeah,
and they'll talk about how they changed the color of the airbox cover.
Yeah,
the airbox cover went from blue to white. And I remember because this happened on a brand. It went from blue to white. You can probably guess which brand it was. And I cornered the marketing guy. And I said, what was that for? And he goes, well, it makes the air cooler when it comes into the motor. It cools the air down. So a few years later, it went back from white to blue or white to black. I don't remember. And I said, so a few years ago, you were using the white one to cool the air down, and this bike hasn't had any significant changes since then that you would need to not need that extra cool air for the extra horsepower. Can you explain this? I just asked the question, I probably did make a joke about the new cooler colored airbox cover or whatever, so hey, that's marketing.
Right.
And so they do struggle with that sometimes, to try to make it better. And that's
tough job.
I've been chastised, but it doesn't work. Bermcan and Mark, probably the same thing.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're honest and you're fair and you test things the way they're supposed to be tested. And I think it's all good. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. I will disqualify certain people's opinion because I realize that it's ridiculously biased or it's coming from the wrong direction or they don't understand.
Right.
And my opinion has been disqualified many a times. Thanks, Ron Lawson, Dirt Bike Magazine, back in the day. But I'll tell you, when he disqualified my opinion, now, much older now, much wiser, kind of like Ron was back then.
Yeah.
I picked the KTM 250 motocross bike. This is back in 1991 when I was a factory KTM rider.
Yeah.
I picked it as the best motocross bike. I was an off-road racer, by the way.
Right.
But we did a 250 motocross shootout at Dirt Bike Magazine. I picked the KTM 250. I think it was called an SX back then. I'm pretty sure. 91. The red, white, and blue one. No, it was a green one. Oh, yeah, it was the teal. Is that teal green one? No, this was the red, white, and blue one. So it was 1990 then. It had to have been 1990. So I picked it. I have a good picture of me cartwheeling that bike too. At the test.
Oh, we need to get that up here on these TVs.
Yeah, it's in film. It's hanging on my tool chest back in California. But so I picked it as the best bike. And the funny thing is the motor could arguably been the best motor at the time. The suspension was a little suspect. But I was used to it because that's what I was racing on, and B, I knew how to tune it. I was the only test rider at that entire test that was actually making clicker changes and adjusting things.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys were just there to get their photo taken, which is what you get with most test riders.
Right.
They're there to get their photo taken and try to get popular. So, so he disqualified my opinion of picking that bike first, and I agree with that. It was his magazine, not mine. I was just smart ass punk motor off-road racing kid that was trying to get my picture in the magazine too. First year of the 300. This is the 250 motocross shootout. I remember that. I should go dig that up. I have that in the archives.
You should have just like a just like a podcast where you just talk about like stuff that went down, like shootouts or just like bike tests.
That's what this podcast is sometimes. Next.
Okay, so this one's from I'm assuming it's Lee Gross. I'm hoping it's not gross. Hi Jimmy, can I trouble you to point me towards a reliable source for a new or takeoff carb for my 2003 YZ250F, please? There's a lot of mystery stuff on eBay, but I'd like to support someone who knows what they're doing, and it's hopefully a small shop. I don't expect you to do this kind of stuff for free, so I'm buying a T-shirt. Thank you for your help.
I actually answered his email. Specifically because he bought a T-shirt, and you can buy a T-shirt at a dirt bike test store, something like that.com. I don't know. Dirt bike test. Go to dirt bike test, and there's a button that says store, and you can buy. I
think it's dirtbiketest.com/store.
Yeah. Well, it's just go to dirtbiketest.com and then find store, and then click on that and buy a T-shirt. And we're almost sold out of a lot of them now. So, and I don't know when we're going to get another order because Gabe says I have to take any money that I get there and pay him before I can actually restock our T-shirt supply. And if we made money on the T-shirts, it'd be even more awesome, I think. But like, so I'm doing the janitorial stuff. I'm like, sweeping the floors and cleaning the place up. And then I have to take my time from that to go over and package up the stuff, the T-shirts, and then send them out and go to the post office. Gabe did that like twice. Did you do that twice? Yeah. I could add it to your job list, but I can't pay you for it yet. It's rough around here. The cat food is pretty tasty, and you notice I've been on a liquid diet for a couple days. Yeah, it might have been the cat food. Okay, wait, back to what we're talking about. Lee Gross's carburetor.
Carb for 2003 250F.
So I'll tell you a little story about those eBay carburetors. If you get what you saw in the picture, that would be win number one. If you get what you saw in the picture, and it is what you saw in the picture, examine it closely because there might be like orifices and things on that carburetor that don't actually function. I've actually seen a carburetor. It's a ripoff of the Kian FCR carburetor, that has a pumper, a diaphragm pump on it that actually had no diaphragm pump in it or anything. It just was shaped like that. And it was essentially a Bing carburetor, like a float bowl with a main jet and a needle and a pilot jet, and it had a needle and a round slide in a FCR carburetor. The round slide was, I could probably put my pinky down in the slide. It was a 39 FCR, but the slide was actually amazing. They basically took the parts from a Honda 50 carburetor and fit them inside of that shell. So on those carburetors, when you get a carburetor that should cost you $400 or $500 and you get it for $39.95, you're getting what you paid for. Trust me. So be leery of those carburetors. I've also seen some very good authentic knockoffs of the Kian, that FCR carburetor. So the same carburetor that's on your 250. But it has what we would call a mystery jet selection. It means that they just put it's all the stuff, it's all the same shape and all the same dimensions, but the sizing's a little bit off. So the nozzle may not really be right there. Who knows what kind of passages they have between the bleed and the other ones. So everybody I've ever encountered that knew anything about anything that has bought one of those carburetors said it was a nightmare to get jetted if they were able to get it jetted at all. So what am I saying? Try to find a dismantler that has taken one off of that particular bike. In all honesty, those guys know what those things are worth, and they're going to charge you a fair price for it. So if you really need one, if your carburetor's just gummed up, you'd probably be better off spending the money buying an ultrasonic cleaner and cleaning out your carburetor and doing all that stuff, and fixing it. Or if your carburetor's worn out, and carburetors are a wear item, so if you're worn out, then you're going to have to find another one. And yes, Al.
Jimmy, I wonder if we could get a KTM car to test.
A KTM car. Oh, you saw the release of the new KTM car. I don't know. I have to get the press information on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see something where they're releasing some X-Bow, crossbow. This is not turning into a KTM commercial just because I'm wearing an orange shirt that doesn't say KTM on it. It doesn't say Home Depot either.
We've got an expert right here
Is-
to test it. So.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, sure.
I thought that
Hey, have they had those out at the track before?
No, I Road America.
At Road America, they had them. Yeah, they look pretty awesome. I've seen the Radicals and all the other cars that they have out there. Yeah, so we're not a car show either. We're not going to turn into a car show. Just we're going to keep it the dirt bikes, some adventure bikes. Okay.
I actually do have. Do you think like Electron or Smart Carb might have a carburetor for that bike?
Yes, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lee. I didn't even think about that, Matt. This is why you're on this show.
Yeah. Not just so I can drink some of your good tequila.
You're way better than Logan. You actually say something. Yeah, Logan, that's a slam, by the way. That's being mean, and don't know they're not hurtful words. I'm just trying to encourage the vocabulary. I know you have smart things to say. Okay, yeah, Smart Carb or Electron or
Yeah.
or
How are those Electrons? I kind of see everyone seems to be buying them these days.
Me personally, I'm not a fan.
Okay, why is
because
that?
they're very smooth, and they kind of smooth the bike out, and they don't necessarily have snap. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I've never actually gone out and spent a ton of time playing with them and testing them, and I probably should, but
Yeah.
I'm past carburetors. I really hate. Well, actually, those are actually pretty good because all you have to do is click the needle. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to open them up. So maybe it's almost as good as fuel injection. But I'm into the fuel injection age. I like pushing keys. What am I? I just said I like working on electronics. Oh, geez, I'm just so wrong. But they tend to run. They really smooth out the power. And I used to think that I liked or I wanted smooth power.
Right.
Which I do. I want the power delivery to be smooth. I don't want it to be over enhanced by a carburetor or a pipe or, in either way. I don't want them to be over enhanced in a smooth direction. I don't want them to be over enhanced in a snappy or aggressive direction. So, but for a lot of guys, I think it's really good, especially trail riders that are maybe a little ham-fisted with the throttle. I want my throttle to be so precise. And if I turn it a certain amount, I want a certain kind of response. And on those, I found that I wasn't getting the same level as response that I was with a Kian or a Makuni, as it would eventually catch up, but it was like a little bit delayed, a little bit like traction control.
Right.
So if that's a good thing for you, I think it's a good thing. But if you're, maybe. But aren't those carburetors mostly? Do they have 4-stroke applications? They mostly 2-stroke.
I actually don't know. I've only been hearing them and seeing them. I have a buddy who put one on his YZ250, but I haven't heard anything about for 4 strokes for the Electrons.
Yeah, that's when I when I was riding an Al Baker XR628 Baja Commander, it had a very early version of the Electron on it, and back then they were some of the first pumper carburetors for aftermarket stuff for 4-stroke. So they did at one time make that stuff. So
Oh, I should have my phone on me. I can do a quick Google search right now.
no, we don't need to do that. Next question. Oh yeah, question.
No, they make them for.
They make them for 4-strokes. Okay.
Okay.
I was just on their website.
Yeah. Did you buy one?
No, I was looking.
Yeah. Good.
I was trying to smooth out my 380 a little bit.
KTM 380. That's a horrible bike. The only reason I'm saying that is because I actually spent a long time. I spent a long time jetting and tuning a KTM 380. It was back with had the SEM ignition, and I have a Pro Circuit pipe and muffler for one of those. If you're interested, we go upstairs and talk about a little. You know, I'll put it on eBay and sell it if you don't. It's real original stuff. But I had a KTM 380. I wanted that bike to work, so I spent a lot of time jetting it. I got that thing jetted perfect. That thing was so good. It was smooth power, long power. It's everything you wanted in like a big bore 2-stroke with lightweight, and it was the optimum thing. And the ignition went out down in the bottom of an ice canyon.
Oh no!
Yeah, which was it was hell getting that bike out of there, and I sold it. So. Did we never finished up about my Husabergs last week? I kind of kept that on the download, didn't we? Because that's the other bike that like I would talk about how bitching the power was, and it let me down the other week too. But if you see some Husabergs for sale on Craigslist in Pahrump, you know,
Husaberg 300?
No, 570, bro. The one. What about the one with a lot of power?
There's only 270 cc difference and a couple strokes less, but it's a Husaberg. It's blue.
No.
Has KTM printed on it.
Yeah, mine was made by Husaberg guys. It's totally different.
Okay.
It's completely different.
Well,
but if you see them for sale, the love affair has ended. We might have had a divorce, but I don't know. I'm waiting for the parts. They were supposed to show up today. Shipping's a little bit different these days. Next.
So this one's from Matty D. Most highways in the U.S. have a 75 mile per hour speed limit. I'm just saying.
So he's talking about the CRF 250L Rally.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you want me to read his other one too?
Yeah. Well, so you're bummed that you can't like get a gross negligence speeding ticket on your CRF 250L? Gabe, how fast did you get that thing going? CRF 250L Rally. 73. Man, you couldn't even go to jail for that. See, it's designed for kids like Gabe who, how fast did you get the KTM 390 going? 80s, that's getting closer. KTM 500?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's higher than that. But in Gabe's defense, Gabe goes out to the dry lake bed where it's totally legal to ride off road and do crazy stuff. He's not doing this on the street. Next.
So also from Matty D, in quotation marks, it's only 20 or 30 pounds. Laughing emoji. Is he joking? Yeah, man, that's nothing. Here I am trying to cut ounces off my bike. LOL.
If you're trying to cut ounces out and you're looking at a CRF 250L Rally, that's the wrong bike to be doing that on. Hey, Matty D, thanks for watching our videos and stuff. I appreciate your input. And I don't. Did you say it's only 20 or 30 pounds heavier than something else? That's in the video. We said that, right? I know we said that. No, we're not joking. It in that segment, in that market, like that 20 and 30 pounds at that ability level, and the only time you're really going to feel it is when you're picking it up off the ground. And I will always say this: if picking a bike up off the ground is one of your performance criteria for a motorcycle, you should get into cars or something that doesn't tip over, because you're going to have a very, very hard riding life. Or you can come to jimmylewisoffroad.com and learn how to become a better rider.
There we go.
Did you like how I did that, Matt?
Yeah. Why? Is there any screens for the riding school up here?
No, I haven't. That'd take time. I'd have to build that, and it'd take time, and it probably wouldn't pay off very much. You can use, this is a Jimmy Lewis Riding School offroad.com chapstick. You can use this. I have it under good authority that Dakar champions use this. I do have that from what I know. So don't forget to check out our store. Hey, if you're clicking through on Amazon from our website, if you go to our website and you see one of the links down at the bottom, do that. We get a little piece of that. That helps. I'm going to go through the questions on.
And it doesn't even have to be anything dirt bike related, right? Like you can just go on the site, click the link, and just buy household items, and you still get the slice.
You can buy anything. When you buy like a set of tires or stereo equipment, that expensive stuff, your new iPhone, buy that. Go through the dirt bike test link. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. We get not much, but we get something. It helps.
You can pay Gabe.
Chris, We're working on it. Detonation is combustion without a spark. So that's just in case you know. And Chris, if you're still listening here, when does when the flame fronts collide into the flame fronts colliding? Is that where the knock is? And how does that? Somebody explained this to me once, but I forgot. I tried to learn how to program ads into the back of a website, and then I lost my stuff. Hey, does Dennis know you're riding his KTM 950?
Yes, he is. He told me to ride it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
because I saw Dennis on here, and I'm like,
no, I've been riding it back and forth to my grandma's place, helping her out with some stuff, and I rode it here.
Cool.
It's my in-town commuter.
Hey, Matt, another thing I've just learned on the chat room: bad tequila causes a knock. Late ignition that explodes after the spark ignition. That's what takes the edge off the piston and removes the bumps from your credit card. Good one, Chris. Let's see. Somebody says he is a hack, and he's probably referring to me, so that's okay. See any other? You don't have this going. Janie says that riding dirt bikes is a great family activity.
It is. And
San Felipe Bob, and I've seen this on the Facebooks. He makes his kids work on his own bikes, which is good. Dirt bikes make you a real man, is what Andrew McDaniel says. And Andrew sent me that mime about the Cinco de Mayo curse with the coronavirus.
Oh, the meme?
Yeah, the meme.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, scrolling down through the comments. So if you're ever wondering how we do this, we do it live on Facebook currently because we get it's our local place. If we could ever expand out, we could do it live on a few different platforms. But our issue is I would actually need more producers and more people here to kind of feed those comments to me. And it would require a whole another level of technologies that I don't understand. Matt, you're smart.
Yeah.
You think you could do that?
Yeah. If I'm back in Reno, and you fly me down every week. I can do it.
Fly you down.
Yeah, that drive's really long.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be doing that drive. Well, I'm pretty sure with technology and all the social distancing stuff, we've learned how to do all this stuff remote, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but then I can get a weekly trip where I can actually ride a dirt bike. So.
Patty, who is Chris Blaze's wife, she's asked if she's too late, and she's drinking, or we're drinking, or she got to the Cinco de Mayo party a little bit late. That's how I promoted this thing on my own page. I said it would be a Cinco de Mayo party that you could go to. That
yeah, but we don't have any. We don't have any food though. We only have tequila.
Okay, you want to try some like mid-level to
Yeah, I'll try some mid-level. Just a little bit though. I
just hooked it on the microphone.
Oh, so
yeah,
you go ahead
and pour those. So that was my Valentine's present, by the way, from my beautiful wife Heather.
Has she done any one of these shows?
She called in once, I believe. I think I called her, and she actually provided some pretty good info. People said we should have her back on. Okay, Andrew McDaniel takes a stab at detonation. Frame fronts collide, causing a disruption in molecules, which cause the incomplete combustion in a closed vessel. Did you Google that? That sounds like a Google.
That sounds like copy and paste from Google.
Yeah, and Mitch tells me that Dirt Bike News can help me. Yeah, I'm not afraid to mention the other guys. I should have some of these other guys on, and we should have a shootout of journalists.
A journalist shootout?
Journalist shootout.
Yeah.
Like, we should shoot out journalists. We should have people ask us questions. I don't know how this would work. We should actually have people ask us questions, and then we each get to respond, but nobody can. We could do this like
kind of like a Jeopardy, like a Jeopardy,
kind of like Jeopardy, and then you get to pick your best. You get to pick the best answer, and the best answer gets the $200 or whatever it is,
or tequila.
And then we go to Final Jeopardy, where we all raffle off motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then somebody wins.
Yeah, free promotion.
So,
well, not free, but
I think George, you're you're paying attention to this. Have I answered most of the questions on the chat room? I can't. He'll get back to me pretty quick.
If my phone wasn't nearly dead, I would have had it pulled up, and I could have been a helpful co-host.
Yeah, you plugged into every outlet we had available here.
Yeah, no, my phone won't charge. It just will not charge. It's been stuck at 10% all day.
You could go to Amazon right now and buy a new phone, clicking through the link on dirtbiketest.com.
I actually need that stimulus check for more responsible things, though.
Oh,
like rent.
Yeah.
I'm down a job, so.
Hey, Matt's looking for work up in Reno in the motorcycle industry. If anybody's out there watching,
I don't want to go back to Starbucks.
You worked at Starbucks.
Yes, waking up at 3:30 a.m.
Wow. Oh, because you don't have a lot of time to work, so you need to work when.
Yeah. So I'd work the morning. I'd work from I think it was 4 or 4:30 to like 9, and then I'd have class at 10, and then from 10 to 1 I was doing class, and after that I would go do math tutor until 7.
Kids, listen to this. This is how you pay your way through college. It's like Jeremy said, he got up super early to work, and he did work, and yeah,
it's brutal. I still have to take out student loans. Like, it's still brutal. That's just cost of living.
Well, so I mean, at the end, all you can expect a minimum wage job working at the meat packing plant, contracting viruses.
Yeah,
find out that the government subsidies are way better than actually working, and just stay at home. That's what ordinary.
Right.
That's what the regular people do. But you're not going to get a brand new KTM by doing that. So hey, your hard work is appreciated by everybody. We need more kids like you.
It's because I rode dirt bikes.
Matt, somebody wants to see your ID. I know Matt's old enough to be having the tequila.
I just have a baby face. I know. No. So I actually went to a bar in an airport. I think it was right after my 22nd birthday, and the waitress, she comes almost sprinting over, saying, "Hey, you have to be 21 to be in here." I was like, "I am 21." She's like, "Can I see your ID?" So I pull out my ID, and I just see her jaw drop. She couldn't believe I was over 21, and then she just was taken back. She's like, "Well, what can I get you?" And then when I ordered a beer, she was even more surprised. She was expecting me like some frou-frou drinker or something like that.
Yeah, George, I got that question about the short review. How is the low end performance? It's a little sluggish. Yeah, it's sluggish because it's designed for a novice rider on the KTM 390. An expert rider would call it sluggish, but I'm sure all the reviewers in India are probably experts. I don't know how that works there, but I haven't ridden the Indian version. But yeah, I would say compared to a racing type bike, yeah, the performance on the KTM 390 is sluggish, but that's not a bad thing. Okay,
have this bolded thing. Did you want to go?
Oh, is it? Yeah. What's that? This is a good question. I ripped it off from my good friend John Burns, who I used to work with at Cycle World magazine. John was the shop boy. John is a wordsmith, a talented writer, a mediocre rider. And so he got promoted out of shop boy because I got hired on as essentially shop boy, and then he got to do what he was good at. It was writing really good motorcycle journalism, and so he's, I don't know exactly where he works for now. I think he's motorcycle.com, motorcycle online, motorcycle something or other. But I see him on Facebook and stuff, and so he had a post that said,
"Is it a good time for buying a motorcycle?"
Is it just buying a motorcycle or buying a new motorcycle?
Just buying a motorcycle.
I think I might have typed that in because I think his question actually said buying a new motorcycle.
I have been noticing, I noticed some Suzuki dealerships and Kawasaki on their website. They are like taking like $1,000 off some of their like 250s and stuff.
Right. Oh, Suzuki for sure.
Yeah, I actually saw one dealership in Sacramento was doing $2,000 off and still offering financing.
Huh. So is it a good time to buy a new motorcycle? Let's go around the horn on this one. Gabe, good time to buy a motorcycle now?
Yeah.
New and used? More used. Really? Why are people dumping stuff? Because you check the classifieds. So it's a good time to buy used. There's deals out there if you have money.
They're desperate for money, too.
Desperate for money. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's good for a new
Good for new. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say what dealership, but you can get for 69, you can get a 450 KX.
Yeah.
For 78.
So-
YZ 450.
So they're seeing good deals on new bikes at the dealership. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Same.
They can't give Suzuki's away, so they're
Yeah. I actually have a buddy. He's been Yamaha his whole life, but he really wants a Suzuki right now because he's seen how cheap they are. And
You don't mind kicking.
doesn't mind kicking. And I've heard been hearing some thing like watching YouTube videos and stuff saying that like you can build them up to kind of be whatever you want them to be for the price. Buy it and build it up for the price of some of these other new ones.
Okay, so you can actually go on dirtbiketest.com. You might have heard of that little website.
Yeah.
And I think Scott does kind of a hop up article on the RMZ 450. Trevor has our RMZ 250 right now, and he's been picking at me because I'm like, take the damn thing back. I want to get a DRZ 400 for berm cannon.
Yeah.
But the RMZ 250, he wants to do kind of some hop ups, and I'm like, okay, you can do it, but you got to use some different stuff. It can't be all the same stuff we always see. I want you to try something different, and you have to keep the cost conscious thing in mind.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
back to that question about the journalists and things, like we're in a world now where like if you have a voice that's like half as loud as ours, and ours isn't really that loud yet, but you have a little voice, people will send you product all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just say, "Oh, it's great, it's bitchin', it's the best thing ever," and so that's what they say, and everything's great, and most of them are just bike build sites. They're guys that they slap every free product they can get on the bike, known to man, and say, "Oh, it's great, it's bitchin', I better buy it's this," and then whether they go and sell that bike that they bought used, and now they're going to sell it for a lot more with all these free products on it, or they take all the products off and sell them to their buddies. I mean, this is. Even when I was working at magazines back in the day, like the journalist pay was so low, half of these guys were subsidizing their income. And I never did this. I can honestly say I never sold anything I was ever given. I traded stuff all the time, like with my buddies that surfed and my buddies that had skateboards and my buddies that had snowboards. There was bro deals going left and right. But a lot of these journalists would take stuff, get them for a test bike, do a test on it, and sell the stuff. That was how they were subsidizing their income. You always want to know the dirty little secrets, right?
Yeah.
I need to write monkey butt too. I gotta call Super Hunky. I gotta call Rick. I gotta see if he'll let me go. I can pick up where he left off. It would be a good book. Death of the Magazine. That's what it'd be called. But back to the where were we with this?
Is it a good time to buy a motorcycle?
Is it a good time to buy a motorcycle? I think it's really good. And then like you're talking about, like the deals at some of these dealers, and like Suzuki, if you're not really on the cusp of performance, if you don't really need the top level, the bike isn't bad.
That's what I've been hearing.
Sure, you don't have electric start, but neither do the KXF 250. So on the 250, on the 450, it's the only kickstart 450. Hey, for some people, that's an advantage. They don't want to have to worry about maintaining a battery and have to worry about keeping the thing charged up. They're going to let the bike sit for a little while, and if you're that kind of guy that's only riding that often, you probably don't need that top level of performance. It's not to say that most people want that, but hey, maybe your budget's in a little different category. But even the brands that have the premium product right now are I'm pretty sure certain dealers are probably really willing to deal. And if you have the money, and you said financing, and that scares the hell out of me. I would never finance a dirt bike, a toy.
I don't think I would either, but I know a lot of people who would.
Yeah, but if that's the option you want to use, and that kind of stuff is out there, go for it. That's why it's there. But be smart about that. Yeah. I would say save up your money so you can buy it. I had to do that with my mini bike, although my parents kind of financed half of it for me, I guess you could say. But it taught me. I mean, I had to work my ass off to get that thing.
Right.
So, I see Baja Diaries. Mark is on there. Is he answering questions? He says it's not a good time. Okay, so here's Baja Diaries is like the anti-new bike guy, I think. Is he? No, that's Torture Test.
Oh well, if Torture Test is if he's
It's a
building
good,
up DRZ
it's
250s.
it's a good time to go spend $1.37 on a clutch plate or a crush washer for Torture Test's bike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find the bag of ball bearings for him right now. So okay, motorcycle dealerships should be giving zero down. He's talking about financing and 0% financing.
Again, I saw a Craigslist ad in Sacramento for that Suzuki. That it was like zero down financing, $2,000 off.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
yeah. So yeah, keep the motorcycle industry alive. If you're still alive,
Yeah.
keep it alive. We'll see how all this stuff changes out.
Anytime's a good time to buy a bike if you can do it.
Should we wrap it up, man? I think we've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a short show. I really did, but it's all working out. I want to thank everybody for joining in live. If you're listening to this as a podcast, thank you as well. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm sorry you had to look at me this whole time. But hey, it's interesting. You can get to see the pretty pictures that Gabe puts up on the slideshow in the back. You can see the banners from our awesome sponsors. I'd like to talk about, again, KTM for helping us out. And KTM is powered by a distinct ready-to-race mentality. KTM is the world's leading high-performance street and off-road sport motorcycle manufacturer with North American headquarters based in Murrieta, California. Over the years, KTM has built a reputation as a fierce competitor on racetracks around the world, and the brand's remarkable global success is reflected in every product it develops and every move it makes. Yeah, like sponsoring the show. That's super high performance.
What about these sprockets here?
Those are DDC sprockets, and you can check them out at ddcracing.net. That's Delaney Drive Components. I run them on all of my bikes, and another good thing about DDC is they really they help out the off-road community by supporting land use activities. They're involved in that as well as I am, and a lot of people are. It's a fight to be able to keep our areas open where we get to go riding. So pay attention to that. Climb. I forgot to talk about Climb, didn't I? I'm not wearing Climb underwear today. Can say that.
Something that's Climb.
That's a neck warmer thing. That's probably the wrong season to be pulling that out, Matt, but you can.
Well, no, you can.
It's a mask.
It's a neck warmer, but it's a mask. On. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to sit closer than 4 feet apart? Hold on.
But you got to take the headphones off.
Yeah, I know. It's too much work, but it's a neck warmer that can be used as a germ eliminating spreading device.
And it comes with a Clem sticker that you can put on front so you can represent.
Right. It has a Climb thing on it. Yeah. Yeah. So 1095? KN95.
Oh, it has
like a K&N filter or something like that?
Yeah, K.
Climb N95, yeah. So I don't really know how much all that stuff works. So you got to, do your own research on that. I'm not a scientist. I just play one on this damn podcast. But yeah, Climb makes some of the world's best, if not the world's best off-road riding and adventure gear, and they make street bike gear too. I wear it anytime I'm riding for fun, and that says a lot about it because I have the opportunity to wear pretty much people will dress me up like anything,
like
whatever.
a model.
Like a model, yeah. I used to be a photo model, but okay. Anything else? Any other business?
Thanks
That's
for
it?
letting me drink some of your tequila.
Oh, you're welcome. That's what we do on
I'm not going to show my ID though.
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I know you're old enough.
Yeah.
Good. Save some for Al. No, you can't have any, Al. If you're we talked about this. You're 78 years old. You're going to go ride dirt bikes tomorrow, and you don't need anything to slow you down.
Okay.
Yeah, you should know this. You shouldn't have some young punk telling you what to do.
Or speed him up.
Or speed him up. So thanks for everybody that came in live tonight.
Live studio audience.
Yeah, live studio audience. Good to see you. And like usual, what are we going to do, Matt?
We'll see you on the trails.
See you on the trails. Cheers.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you'll know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto co-branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden, and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.